Hey, welcome to the Bitcoin Bull. Today we're going to see what Bitcoin is doing. Yesterday, Bitcoin took a drop and today it's doing the same. We'll see what should be happening today and then we'll take a look at some news. We got some news like comparing Bitcoin with gold. We have Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategy, says that he doesn't think Bitcoin is going to be a currency in the US ever. The MicroStrategy boss thinks Bitcoin is a form of property and points out that the US government is not threatened by other forms of property, so the government shouldn't be threatened by Bitcoin either, because it should be considered as gold or real estate or stocks instead of a currency, which they're making some governments kind of scared about Bitcoin, like China. That's why China wanted to get rid of Bitcoin out of their country. So, and then we have this news here. It's fine to buy Bitcoin as gold substitute, says Trump ex-Treasury Secretary Mnuchin. I think that's how you pronounce it. What seems to be a full reversal on a previously hostile Bitcoin stance is tempered by this person who added that he still wouldn't buy Bitcoin himself, but he said that Bitcoin was a scam. Before he said Bitcoin was a scam, and now he's saying that he's changed his mind and he considers Bitcoin to be a good investment. So we have some good news here. When Bitcoin, here, let me make this bigger. So, by the way, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. That would really help grow the channel. I would really appreciate that. And also hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on everything that Bitcoin is doing, all the most important news and what Bitcoin should be doing each day. So here, when we were in this area here, when Bitcoin was dropping, every day on the news, every day, all the news was bad about Bitcoin. Everyone talking bad about Bitcoin, China talking bad about Bitcoin, Elon Musk talking bad about Bitcoin. And here, as well, because it seemed like they didn't want Bitcoin to get off the floor. They wanted to still buy in the Bitcoin at a low price. And since we've been in here, there's either no news about Bitcoin, like yesterday. Yesterday I couldn't find any news worth talking about, or good news. Now there's good news coming out about Bitcoin. So that's a sign that Bitcoin should start going up again if there's good news about Bitcoin. So let's take a closer look at Bitcoin, see what it's doing right now. This is the hour chart. Let's move this into the middle a little bit. Okay, so we have Bitcoin here. When we made the video yesterday, Bitcoin was right here, and I was saying that we most likely be riding this tendency, this downward bearish tendency line here, going up and down like it has been recently. It said it would do something like this, which is kind of what it did. And yesterday, Bitcoin hit this important support line here. It threatened to break it with this wick here, which didn't last very long. It quickly went back up, so it hit and rebounded off the support. And it looks like Bitcoin is going back down to hit this support again. Two things can happen. If Bitcoin hits this support and rebounds off of it like it did yesterday, that's a double floor, and that indicates that Bitcoin has reached the bottom of the floor, has reached the bottom of the barrel, and that's an indicator that Bitcoin will then start going back up again. If today Bitcoin breaks this support and goes under, clearly goes under, not just a wick, but clearly during several hours, or well below this support line here, that means that we'll be in a totally different scenario. Today we should be very likely anywhere in here between this tendency line and the support line. That's the most possible scenario. We could get a little bit higher in here also. If Bitcoin rebounds off the support, we can be above this tendency line here, making our way back up. If it breaks, then that means here, let me Put this in the middle. That means zoom out a little bit. Yeah, so if Bitcoin breaks this resistance, that means we'll be in this area here for the next several days on the weekend, and then once Bitcoin hits this resistance here, it will either rebound and that will be the floor, and Bitcoin will start going up again, or if it breaks it, should quickly drop down and will be hitting the next support. So then we would be in this area here for next week. We could go drop all the way down to 29,000. So, and then once that happens, then if this support should not be broken. That's like the last support I have in here that I'm expecting, that I'm considering that Bitcoin could drop to at the moment. And so either from here, and then we'll go up, or Bitcoin could hit here and then we'll start going up again, or it could hit here and then start going up again. At the moment, this is the scenario. Let's see if today is the day that Bitcoin will finally break clear of this tendency line and start and attack this tendency line again, like it has been trying to here and here and here, and break it, and so we can get off the floor. We can get off the floor finally and start working its way up and then start skyrocketing. So let's check out this news. So we have here Michael Saylor saying that Bitcoin should be considered like property, like real estate, or like stock, or like gold. MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor thinks that Bitcoin is more like digital property than digital currency. So this is new. We always talk about Bitcoin being like the future currency, worldwide, digital, decentralized currency, not controlled by the government. And he's saying that it should also be considered like digital property, like owning a piece of land, or a building, or stock. He was speaking here. He said that I would call it a digital property. That's a threat to property. It's particularly a threat to other forms of property. Gold is property. Real estate is property. I don't think the United States government is threatened by real estate or buildings or companies, stocks, or gold. So why should the government be threatened by Bitcoin? It's just another asset, just another investment. So this is good news. He's saying that, and hopefully the government thinks the same, so they won't do things like in China. And what it's doing is it's demonetizing other forms of property, he added. So Michael Saylor is the CEO of MicroStrategy. They're one of the biggest players in Bitcoin. They have more than 100,000 Bitcoin. I accidentally opened this up. They have more than 100,000 Bitcoins, which is worth $3.3 billion in Bitcoin. So they're definitely a whale. And what was the brilliant thing? Yeah, they said that Steve Ballmer did it in order to be worth $100 billion. And what he did, he did not sell Microsoft. You have to be in this for the long run. And for example, yeah, this is what Saylor also referenced a quote from Warren Buffett, which says, if you aren't willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. And he cited that even Amazon stock has recovered from 80% crashes in the past. So that's good. That's good to think about now that that Bitcoin is so low. This happened with Amazon, with Tesla, especially in the beginning. Very volatile, those stocks. big dumps, big skyrockets, and then as time goes on, as more money gets into it, it gets more and more stable. And same thing will happen to Bitcoin. As time goes on, it'll get more and more stable. And so he was saying one iPhone 12 in 100 years will be worth nothing. So the product that Apple is selling isn't going to last 1,000 years. The product that Bitcoin is selling is one per 21 millionth of all the money in the world. It has a lot of potential still. So that doesn't have to change. It just kind of has to not break. Exactly. Bitcoin just has to keep moving forward. Bitcoin, if you look at the history, Bitcoin every year, it goes up in value a lot. It goes up increases, sometimes it doubles, triples in value every year. Whereas, a company like Apple, or Tesla, they're selling products that devaluate every year. Those cars and those iPhones are worth less, whereas Bitcoin every year, the product is worth more. So that's something to keep in mind. And then we have this too. So it's fine to buy Bitcoin. Yes. So this politician here, he's saying that Bitcoin was a scam. The former United States President Donald Trump and the former Treasury Secretary appears to have made a U-turn on the world's first and best known cryptocurrency. So he said that, yeah, his perspective on Bitcoin has evolved a little. He's taking another stance on Bitcoin. He said, I think my view has evolved a little bit, but it's pretty consistent. The first part of it is, I think the underlying technology of blockchain is really incredible and has lots of different things, particularly in fintech and finance. I think as it relates to Bitcoin, if people want to buy Bitcoin as a substitute, no different from buying gold or some other asset, it's fine. Before he was saying Bitcoin is a scam, and now he's saying, yeah, it's fine to invest in Bitcoin. So that's good that this politician is saying that. Good news for Bitcoin. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's saying this because he wants to invest in Bitcoin and he doesn't want to invest in it. And then people say, hey, why are you investing in Bitcoin if you're saying it's a scam? You can say, no. I said Bitcoin is a good investment. It's a good idea. So, and he also said, as a matter of fact, under the OCC last year, we approved that banks could custodian it. And the reason we did that is because we wanted to make sure that this is becoming in the regulated world. They want to regulate Bitcoin. They want banks to be able to invest in Bitcoin, all their clients to invest in Bitcoin. Anyone that wants to invest in Bitcoin, be able to do it. So this is good news that someone from the Treasury, United States, is backing up Bitcoin. Another person backing up Bitcoin. So more good news. And Bitcoin, yeah, we already went over what it did, what should we be doing today, and the next, so keep in mind that what happens the next several days and weeks, if Bitcoin does drop and breaks these support lines and keeps going down, breaks the support line, keeps going down, if that happens, don't get scared, because once Bitcoin reaches the final floor, the bottom of the barrel, then Bitcoin will start going up and being back up to what I've been saying since this whole situation happened with Bitcoin, that will be back up to break this support, very important support, and then Bitcoin will start skyrocketing again. And that might happen if Bitcoin drops. That will happen here. But if today Bitcoin rebounds, then it'll go up. And so at the end of the day, what happens the next couple weeks, couple days, doesn't really matter unless you're trying to buy in and you want to buy in at the lowest price. But if you're already bought in, just be patient, because it might take a couple more weeks to get to where we need to be. But in the short term, anything can happen right now. We'll go over that. That's why I analyze Bitcoin every day, because every day things can change really quick. if someone just does a quick tweet or something, or a news article, it can change everything for the next several days. But the midterm and long term goal is still the same. It's still the same. For the end of the month, we should break. We should be out of this. We should be off the floor, and Bitcoin should get onto its knees. I'll give it to the end of the month. Be in here, and then break here. So then by the end of summer, we can be in this area here, and then in October, November, be in the maximums, and break those maximum. Break the maximum. That's what all the experts are saying. All the top analysts are saying. That's what I think also. That's what I'm saying. So what happens now in the next several days and weeks? Don't let things scare you if Bitcoin drops even more, because think about the long term. Think about what Bitcoin will be doing the next several months from now. Bitcoin could very likely be double of what it's worth right now in just a few months. So keep that in mind, and don't let the short term, what Bitcoin can do in one day, affect you. If you have Bitcoin, best thing to do is hold. And if you're still interested in buying Bitcoin, any price in this area here is great. If you can buy in at 30,000 instead of 36,000, that's even better. But in the long run, it doesn't really matter. Once we're up here, if you buy in at 30,000 or 33,000, it's not going to really make that much of a difference. So patience, hold, and if you have the money to do it, buy all the dips. So today is low. Today is a good price. If you're interested in buying, here, let's zoom in for a minute. If you're interested in buying Bitcoin, today looks like a good day, but you might want to wait and see what happens when Bitcoin hits this support line here. If you see that it rebounds off the support, and especially if it breaks this tendency line here, that's a sign that Bitcoin should start going up. It might go up real quick, so I would go ahead and buy. If Bitcoin hits the support and clearly breaks it, then you might want to wait a little bit or go ahead and buy some, but save some money, because Bitcoin could drop even more. It could hit this resistance line here, and then if that breaks, could drop even more. So keep some bullets in the chamber, because you might be able to buy in even cheaper. We'll see what happens today. Today's an important day. I'm interested to see what will happen when Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin will hit here. Let's see what happens when that happens, when Bitcoin hits the support. If it will rebound or if it will drop, if it will break. So that's Bitcoin for today. I hope you found this video interesting. If so, please give me a like and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on what Bitcoin is doing every day, what's the most important Bitcoin news. And thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.